This 4-year-old child had been diagnosed with Bartter syndrome and had been listed for evacuation for more than 6 weeks.
That was Dr. Ali Al-Ghaliz talking about a critically ill child he's treating at Al Ahli Baptist Hospital in Gaza. It's one of a number of cases of severely sick or injured children requiring emergency evacuation. But since the Rafah border crossing closed on May the 7th, no one has been able to leave Gaza on medical grounds, putting the lives of thousands of patients at risk, and very little aid or medical supplies have been able to enter.
It's just costing children their lives. And if it's not costing their lives, we're seeing children develop incredibly complicated illnesses and injuries.
Samir Ouazani is co-founder of Children Not Numbers, a British non-governmental organisation that supports the healthcare needs of children in Gaza and helps to evacuate those needing life-saving treatment to neighbouring countries.
Sadil Hamdan is a prime example. She's a 9-month-old baby with severe liver failure. And, you know, at the beginning of May, she was actually super stable and responding to the very basic treatment she was getting. So her prospects of having a chance at life were significantly greater.
The charity is calling for a humanitarian scheme to be set up so that sick and injured children from Gaza can come to the UK for specialist medical treatment.
We were told that the solution would be to look at more field hospitals and sending more doctors from the UK to Gaza.
And what's your response to that?
I mean, it just goes to show how completely out of touch they are with what's happening on the ground.
Other charities too say their pleas to the government have been met with silence. Dr. Krish Kandaya is involved with Project Pure Hope, an initiative set up by senior British doctors to raise funds for children from Gaza to come to the UK for medical treatment.
We approached both the Foreign Office and the Home Office. We know these requests were put in front of both the Foreign Secretary and the Home Secretary. David Cameron was aware of this project because he mentioned it in the House of Lords. There's a Hansard record about this. And so things ground to a halt, and there just seemed to be no political will to be able to offer humanitarian support to children. And that's really heartbreaking. You know, nearly 200,000 Ukrainians have found support here. And it's been incredible to see what the government's able and willing to do. You know, a visa process that would normally take 3 months, we managed to turn around in 48 hours. In my head, there's no difference in value between someone coming from the Ukraine and a child in need in Gaza. And yet we seem to be unwilling to do anything to support Gazan children.
Doctors here who want to help have now started to provide remote healthcare advice to medics in Gaza treating sick and injured children. Dr. Sana Ali is a paediatrician from Birmingham.
Doctors in Gaza and caseworkers will kind of submit cases to that on like PDS files, and we will pick those up. We will get the details of the children, what assessments they've had, all the details that are kind of relevant, and then we will triage them via our with our triaging system. The kind of injuries that we're seeing in Gaza, so mostly kind of blast injuries, burn injuries. We have got excellent tertiary centres, trauma centres that can deal with those injuries, and even though we're not luckily used to seeing that kind of trauma and things here, they have definitely got the expertise to be able to deal with them.
On average, 10 children a day in Gaza require amputations, according to the UN and Save the Children. They face a lifetime of physical and emotional rehabilitation. But in a state where the healthcare system has virtually collapsed, their only hope of life is outside. The Foreign Office says its approach is in accordance with the specific aspects of the crisis, and that it will consider applications from people wanting to come to the UK for private medical treatment.